Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you didn't turn that dial. Hope you didn't go anywhere, because the time is now 5 p.m., 5 o'clock, and it is In the Huddle with the real Leel alongside me. I am Kenny C, and we also have our guest Dalton in here. If you guys missed it, we talked about his mock draft and broke it down. We're going to keep this football talk going.
Yes, sir. So we have Dak Prescott, and the Cowboys reportedly sent Dak Prescott a new contract proposal, which is worth, I believe it was $35 million? $33 million. And a lot of it guaranteed. So let's get into it. What are your thoughts on this?
All right, so look, I think that Dak definitely has a good future with the Cowboys. If they're able to bring back Amari and you keep that unit together, this could be a force. And then whoever they draft, probably a defensive guy, like we said, if they get Cooper back. And you look at Dak last year, career high in passing yards, 4,092 yards, 30 touchdowns, has not missed a whole game in his career. What, 3 years in the league now?
Yeah.
2016, I think?
Four.
Four?
Yeah.
So he made the Pro Bowl twice as well. Now, in terms of pay, I mean, I think it is time to pay the man. You know, because what has he been on since his rookie contract?
Yeah, this was final year's rookie contract.
So, I mean, look, there's a lot of people argue about does he deserve this money, this and that, but the culture of Dallas is built around, you could say it's built around Dak and Zeke.
Yeah.
And if you get rid of Dak, you have to rebuild the structure of that offense.
I maintain to this day, I never thought Ezekiel Elliott should have got paid over the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay your running back over your quarterback.
Are you kidding?
You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I thought the Cowboys messed up at that particular point. Now, do I believe Dak Prescott is worth all this money? Yeah, no, thank you. But at the same time, from Dak Prescott's perspective, you want to set the trend for the quarterbacks coming after you. So you get the money, then Pat Mahomes could be able to break the bank, and other quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes going to break the bank regardless. But you will set a trend for the other quarterbacks to have a high. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay more money. So I can see it from Dak Prescott's perspective, and his agent basically telling you the Cowboys need you regardless. They're going to have to pay you your money. You know what I'm saying? Now he risking to get tagged. That's a new question too.
Right. You know what? With one leverage that the Cowboys didn't have is they drafted him in the 4th round. So they didn't have that 5th-year option that if you draft a quarterback in the 1st round where teams trade up, you don't have that leverage. So you only get 4 years until you have to tag him or sign him to a long-term deal. Leel, I 100% agree with you. I think signing a quarterback long-term is more important than signing a running back long-term, especially with the longevity of the running back position. It's not nearly as long as the quarterback position. Now, the debate is between, Dak Prescott and Zeke. It's not about who's really more important, but it's Zeke's the top tier running back, so we should get top tier money, where Dak could be a middle tier quarterback, so we shouldn't get top tier money. But in my opinion, even though people don't think Dak might be worth this money, it's quarterback inflation. The price of quarterbacks is just going to keep on going up. You see think about Jimmy Garoppolo, for example. He got a long-term deal, and he started, I believe, under 15 career games. He got over $100 million and signed a long-term deal, and he started less than a season of games. The market for quarterbacks is just going to continue to rise. And if I'm the Cowboys, you have to sign him long-term before the Chiefs sign Patrick Mahomes to a long-term deal, because if Mahomes breaks the bank, they're in trouble with Dak Prescott trying to sign him long-term.
And they do have a predicament here, because there's a couple reports out that they are focusing on getting Amari back before Dak. But how would you feel if you're Dak, like Leel said, and you go out and you break the bank on the running back? Dak's like, okay, still under my deal. Yeah. And then it's coming out that we want to get Amari before Dak. If you're Dak, you're thinking, like, you guys going to keep playing games with me? Like, what is going on? Am I not worth as much as these guys?
Who's going to throw Cooper
I feel like
the
he
ball?
just gets disrespected.
Who's going to throw Cooper the ball
exactly.
if they sign him long-term?
Cooper Rush is their backup? If you don't get Dak back, you're essentially, I don't even know if I could say the word, so I'm not going to say it, but you're done. You're done.
You're done.
You're going to have to go into free agency and look for another veteran quarterback that might want even more than Dak.
But that's where when we debated the Tom Brady situation, that's what I thought that that was something to look at.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, he's not asking to break the bank. He just want a championship team around him. So in that scenario, maybe a Tom Brady with all them weapons, maybe.
If it
but
fell through with Dak,
at the same time,
if it fell through with Dak, but I think
if it fell through,
they're gonna tag. Listen, if a deal's not made by tomorrow, I think it is. They're going to franchise tag this man.
Yeah.
Did they extend the franchise tag?
They did.
They did to
March 14th, I think.
So, if they don't come with a
maybe
deal
16th.
here, regardless of whether Dak likes it or not, they need him. So they're going to tag him, and he's going to get 33 to 34 mil, I saw, on the tag.
Is he the best quarterback? Is he a top 5 quarterback? No, he's not.
No.
It's arguable if he's a top 10.
Right. Some may say yes, some
might say
no.
yes, some might say no.
But is the quarterback position the most important position on the field?
So
yes.
therefore,
so you pay that money.
his stock goes up.
Exactly.
Because it's the most important position.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Think about one more example. Kirk Cousins. He signed a 3-year deal with the Vikings, around $90 million. All of it was guaranteed. That's the first time a whole guaranteed contract that's happened in the NFL. The quarterback position is too valuable not to pay somebody who is a good starter, who's a better starter than a dumpy.
And he doesn't get into anything. He's disciplined. He's he has good behavior. He's not like Baker Mayfield, always got something to say. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, I think Dak definitely has upside moving forward. This is a 2-time Pro Bowl guy. He's played every single game in his career. He's showed good composure in the pocket. Yes, there's questions on his accuracy, but he could still get the deep ball out there.
Yeah.
If you get Cooper back, you still got Cooper and Gallup to throw to. One of the best receiving cores in the league, probably top 3, if you look at it. And, like we're saying, the quarterback position is like the king piece in chess, the most valuable piece that you can have. If you lose that, you lose the game. And if you lose the quarterback, you pretty much lose your franchise because you build around that position.
But
so they're going to be in a predicament if they can't get it
But
settled.
in a way, though, I would throw this out to just to play devil's advocate here, right? Shout out to Al Pacino, good. Oh, and
Great
Keanu
movie.
Reeves, great movie, one of my top 10 movies of all time, right? To play devil's advocate here, they're all teams that necessarily have won a Super Bowl or got to a Super Bowl without having that star quarterback. Mick Foles won with the Eagles, team around him. He was able to win. Other quarterbacks too. Jimmy Garoppolo got to the Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo is not a top 5 quarterback. He's okay, but he missed some throws. They should have won the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning, look how terrible he was his last year when he won that second ring. So, do you really need to break the bank with Dak Prescott?
I think you do, just because if you look at that team, Broncos defense went like this and carried them carry Peyton on their back. I don't think the Cowboys have a defense of that caliber that can do that, especially you saw last season when they do have Dak and Zeke and everyone on the field with the defense and Byron Jones. Obviously, he didn't have an interception last year, but he was still a solid player. I don't think their defense is there yet.
Take a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, who played for the Saints. And Drew Brees was absent, and Teddy Bridgewater came in. They went 5-0. What did they have? Running back, just like the Cowboys do, Alvin Kamara. They had, a few targets, tied in Jared Cook and Michael Thomas, obviously. Defense last year for the Saints was up and down.
It was wishy-washy.
It was wishy-washy at times, and at times they improved.
Yeah.
So I can see the Cowboys, to me, remind me of the Saints in the fact that they got a running back, the fact that they got a better wide receiving core than the Saints, and their defense is at times opportunistic.
Let's look at the play caller in that situation.
I was just about to say,
Sean Payton,
that is a big thing.
Top 3 play caller in
Hey,
the NFL.
Fellas, this could be a revamped Cowboys team. You're looking at Mike McCarthy, has a resume, Super Bowl champ, and playoff record, 8 straight appearances.
But another thing I would throw into this, they will run the football more with Ezekiel Elliott, which something I thought they should have done last year was run the football more. They went back and Zeke. Exactly. If they feed Zeke more, I think it could work.
It depends. I mean, there's a stat. You run the running back 25 plus times. You're 10-1 in games.
They paid the brother. They paid the brother. You got to use him.
That's a quantity stat. I mean, especially when you're winning games late in games, you're going to run the ball. So the quarterback's
I thought definitely they passed. They were too pass heavy.
This is what should have went on, and like you said, this is on Moore, and this is more on Garrett. Because nobody liked Garrett. You had players not even high-fiving them. He's like this. They're just shouldering him by. Like, that was a toxic culture. Now you take Garrett out, an idiot to say the least, with everything that happened there and the play calling and whatnot. The locker room presence was not respectful there. and you bring in Mike McCarthy, who is a respected coach, and you incorporate more of the run game, the play action becomes lethal if you have Ezekiel Elliott and you run that right.
And one more thing to add. I always say Dak Prescott is a better quarterback, but how much better is he than Teddy Bridgewater? Are we talking a larger gap, or he's just better? You know what I'm saying?
I think more. I would say $10 million per year more. I think so.
Yeah, I don't see a huge.
I mean, he's clearly better.
Huge window of space,
right.
but yeah.
How much?
I don't think the ceiling is that wide.
Can I get somebody for cheaper that may be a little bit not as good?
Let's see Teddy without Sean Payton now, because I know he was good in Minnesota.
He was good in Minnesota.
But it's
even in the
preseason.
Even in the Jets preseason, he had a decent preseason. I remember I saw a game and he drove them down the field. So it's not like Teddy Bridgewater is a guy with no experience.
Oh, no, he's got game. Experience. Yeah.
He made the playoffs, and every time Teddy Bridgewater gets an opportunity to show that he can still play, he shows that he can still play.
Let me throw in here. We're talking football, so I'm not throwing curveballs. Let me throw a spiral in here.
Oh gosh.
Andy Moss in here.
What would you say if the Cowboys said, "All right, Dak, you want too much money," and they don't sign him, and they go and they get Tannehill? What would you think about that move if they got Tannehill?
Well, obviously Tom Brady will have to go there. So if Tom Brady goes to the Titans and they get Tannehill,
what would you think about that?
I don't think that's a bad.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a bad fit. Personally,
that wouldn't be a terrible fit.
I don't think that's a bad fit.
He's athletic. He's got an arm.
Tannehill was one of the best quarterbacks in play action. He was a top. I think he was a top 5 quarterback.
There you go.
Exactly.
That could be a fit.
Let me give credit where credit's due. Offensive coordinator Art Smith with the Tennessee Titans did a great job with Ryan Tannehill when he came in as a starter. So give some credit to the Tennessee Titans and how they used Tannehill when he came in.
So that's why I'm kind of like backtracking out of agreeing with both of y'all with the Dak Prescott in a way, because this is a free agency quarterback.
You're seeing more opportunity there?
Opportunities for guys that you could possibly give less money to.
Yeah.
And still put them on that championship level team.
Are they long-term options, though?
That's the thing.
True.
Possibly.
I definitely think, guys,
some of them possibly.
I wouldn't jump the gun. People are saying, oh, Dak is not the future. Dak is trash, this and that. But look at his stats. I mean, he had a good year last year. Was some of the stats Pat statted a little bit? Yes, but overall, I see this guy as developing even more and being a solid quarterback.
But one more thing to answer your question that you just asked, which is, are they long term? How much time do the Cowboys need to win a championship? Because you have Ezekiel Elliott who's going to get older. So the window is not as open as we think it is. So that's why I stick with my
How many years are we spitballing here? I'm saying you give a 5 to 6 year window
for Dak.
If you get Cooper back and Dak to win the championship. With McCarthy now, new culture, we don't know how it's going to be.
I say a little shorter.
You a little shorter.
You guys say shorter?
I say
3 to 4.
3 to 5.
Okay.
3 to 5 years?
3 to 5. 5 being the max.
I could see that.
No more, no past 5.